Yo, it's Captain, bringing you a Dark Souls Diary number 32. 32nd time I played Dark Souls, first time Souls. Just want to give you my thoughts on it. We're going to try to give you an actually shorter video today. Uh, we'll see how it goes. And today is essentially Tomb of the Giants. That's what we're doing. Tomb of the Giants and Gravelord Nito. I think it's Nito. But I kind of want to talk about a topic as opposed to just a recap. I'm going to try to keep these more topical. So, the topic for today is like strategy. Strategy overcoming bullshit in these games. because that's how these games work. That's what I want to talk about, because we were faced with two challenges today. And the answer was not get good, right? These are not, tough but fair games. They're anything but. They're not fair, and they're not that tough. The answer was not get good. It had nothing to do with skill level. It had solely to do with fixing our strategy. It was not clearly, but totally an RPG element. Right, we had to fix our RPG, not our action. It was not an action day. It was an RPG day. So what are the two things? The two challenges we had to overcome today was we started at the bonfire at the bottom. Well, the second bonfire in the Tomb of the Giants. Maybe the only bonfire in the Tomb of the Giants. The one closest to the Nito. So we had to get through the darkness. That was first challenge. Then we had to beat Nito. That was our second challenge. And there were many challenges in between, like little pygmy ass bullshits that we had to punch, and 20 different pinwheels, and we met Leroy, potentially Jenkins, which was pretty cool. But that was it. And we had that stupid Black Knight. We're right after the pit. The guy pushes you in. The bonfire right next to that. That's where we're starting. And we've done the pit sequence. We have the lantern. And we're just trying to get, walk past that and then get through the last little bit before you get to the Nito section. So, the first challenge was the darkness. And I was having a lot of trouble because I couldn't do it. All my strategy beforehand, which was like dodge attacks, do some parries, read the enemy and attack at opportune moments. I couldn't do any of that because it was dark. It was too dark. I couldn't see anything. So I couldn't read the attacks. I couldn't get my timings right. I couldn't dodge the attacks because I couldn't see them coming. Like if you hold the lantern out so that you can see, because that's all I had. I didn't have, apparently there's a couple other things you can do. I didn't have the other things. You hold the lantern out so you can see, right? You watch the enemy, they're about to attack. All right, well, you want to respond. Well, it takes time to put the lantern away. That was the first thing I tried. I was like, well, what if I just watch them until they attack and then I put it away and then I respond like normal? No. You're like taking time to put away, and then if you're going to try to parry, if you're going to try to dodge, maybe you could have dodged out of the hole. I didn't try that. But it's a little risky because you can fall. So like dodging's not working. So I tried multiple times to get through this, deal with the Black Knight, get through this area with a lot of the big gorilla dog, panting skull skeleton creatures. And we're just hearing this in the darkness, right? I tried so many, but they had like a move. It was like they had a super move, and if I used a super move, I was screwed. So I was like, I had to get through Lord knows how many of them, right? Just cross my fingers, hoping they don't do the super move. The strategy did not work. The only thing that was working was holding the shield, right? Because I could do that, and I could block them, and then I could respond, right? I knew when they attacked me because it hit my shield. And then I could try to sneak in and attack in between. I have my Dragon Bone Fist, so it's pretty fast because my window's going to be smaller because I can't read the enemy. But that's pretty fast, so I could try to get it a punch. But like, it wasn't great. Like, it was hard to tell the difference between their one hit and their 2-hit combo. It was, you know, I never knew if the super move was coming, and if it was, it would take all my stamina, and then I couldn't attack or anything. So, and I'd be out of stamina, like I couldn't keep blocking. I was on a timer. So like, this wasn't working. The only thing that could work was blocking, but like, it wasn't good enough. And then finally it hit me, right, with some help from chat. It hit me, well, if my strategy is blocking, I'm not set up to block, because I knew there was a solution, right? There has to be a solution, because it wasn't that I was under, you know, sometimes it's like you're under-leveled, right? And it's like, oh, well, I'm clearly not set up. It's not, that wasn't what it is. I could take on the enemies just fine. And it's not like coming back higher leveled would have helped me be able to see, which was the problem. Right? So I knew it wasn't like get good. It wasn't play better. There was no room to play better. I needed a different strategy. It's an RPG, right? It's not an action game. You can't, the answer isn't always just to get better at playing. RPGs, the answer are figure out what your strategy is. Go through your equipment list. Right? Equip different things. Change your stats. Change your numbers. That's what RPGs are. Change your numbers until it works. And so I knew there was a solution, because people were like, well, you can leave and maybe get like the helmet that lets you see and stuff, and that would have been viable. But I'm like, I have no reason to leave, because I'm not having a problem. I mean, getting the helmet would have helped, but I'm like, I'm not having a problem with any of my character development. I'm having a problem just with this. What is this? It's dark. I can't see anything. So I'm sitting there, you know, trying to figure it out. Finally, the strategy became obvious. I'm blocking. That's the only thing that's working. Well, I have equipment that helps me block better. I have equipment that helps me tank better. If my only option is to tank because I can't roll, because I can't see, and there's holes everywhere, and right, so there's nothing I can do. My only defensive option is to take it to the face. Well, then I have equipment that's just for that. We put on Havels. We put on Havels. I didn't have enough strength for Havel's shield. I was 4 strength away. But I put on Havels, and I put on the Black Iron Shield. We could get hit for days. I could just hold that shield there. You know what was amazing? Those skeleton gorilla dogs, they bounced off the Black Iron Shield. They didn't bounce off it. I don't even know how that works. I don't even know what esoteric bullshit is in this game that dictates when things bounce off, but they bounced off my shield. If they used a light attack, not when they used the big attack, that was still scary. But even then, I'm in Havels. I can just chug an Estus while they're attacking me. It's not a big deal. Right? That's how the Havel strategy works. I've talked about it breaking the game before, because that's the strategy. You just sit there, nothing affects you. It just becomes how many Estuses do you have before you kill them. So that's what we did. And we got through the darkness. It went from impossible to not a problem. Just like that. It was still scary. I was still scared. This game scares me. It was still tense. You know, I still could have died, because there, you know, sometimes there was like a place where 3 of them are, you know, if they all whacked me, or if they use their big super crazy move like 2 times in a row or something, you know, it would still take my stamina. But like, since we had a lot more stability on the shield, we had a lot more poise, right? My stamina wasn't going down as much, so I could handle the blocking easier if I did take a hit, because I can't really read their combos very well. So if I did take a hit, it wasn't going to interrupt me, and it wasn't going to take much health, right? So it was just like, I've got enough Estus, we'll be fine. We'll probably get hit a few times. It's not a big deal. And we just chonked right through. I explored the whole thing. I don't think we died. We didn't die. We literally didn't die. I started the stream dying every 2 seconds because it was annoying me so much, because there's literally nothing I could do to, oh right, let's fix the strategy, because it's an RPG, right? Fix the strategy, equip the right items, you know. Oh, just use realm and sketch him, and the boss just runs off. It's RPG. That's how they work. So that's what we did, and it worked, and it was great. It was fantastic. We came out of there, we found Leroy, and I was like, yo, because he was one of the red invaders, which are like a special thing that only show up if you haven't beat the boss and you have your humanity intact. And I had my humanity intact for some damn reason. I think we found another No, we didn't find another bonfire. I have no idea why I had my humanity intact, but I did. And we found Leroy, because I only do it to light bonfires, so I don't. But we yeah, we started. No, we did find another. There was another bonfire. That's right. There was another bonfire that we managed to get to with Havels. That's right. There was one more bonfire before the boss. That's how it worked. That's how because I remember thinking, man, there's a lot of bonfires down here. But yeah, so we took the Havels. We did great. We went from the pit to the next bonfire, and then we lit it up. And that's why I had the humanity on, and that's how we got to see Leroy. And that was pretty cool. I had a good time with that. So we were good there, and then we were in the light zone, and you don't need your lantern anymore. But now there's pinwheels, and now there's pygmies, and that cavern was hell. Screw those pygmies, dude. Those things suck. And the toxic, oh my god. It was absolute worst. But the next challenge was Nito. And once again, this was not a skill issue. It was a strategy issue. Because I got down there. Oh, I don't know whether I didn't know whether I was going to show video or not. But I did. Here, I can show you the first run. I can show you the first run in Nito. So we got down there. And he owned us. He owned us, and I was mad. He owned us, and I was mad, especially when I saw like how big the run back was. And the kind of stuff you had to, because it was not easy. You had to go through the pygmy cave again. And this guy, there didn't seem to be any solution to him, right? Because he owned us so hard. So you get swarmed by skeletons, and you have to fight him. And you can't, the game's not set up to fight multiple enemies at once. There's no combo protection, right? So they'll all just layer attacks on you, and you'll take all the damage. You'll just get wrecked for all of it. Like, you're really not supposed to be fighting a bunch of enemies at once. I'm in Havels, right? So I'm slow. I can't really dodge the enemies, right? Because here I thought we'd just take them out and they'd be fine. But no, they come back. Because Nito's a necromancer. They come back. Like, that mechanic has returned. And it sucks. So we couldn't do that. So I can't take them out. I can't dodge them because I'm too heavy. Right? And it gets worse because you get more and more skeletons as you go, and then you get like the really big skeletons. And so I got owned, and I'm like, well, what am I even supposed to do? Like I don't have an option for this. There isn't a way through this with this setup. And I'm like, well, there's got to be a way to beat him. Right? Like you can't get rid of the skeletons. Like, that's not a thing. I can't just play better and dodge better and, you know, get perfect attacks. I mean, what you just don't get hit? Did you see that? What in there is just don't get hit? In what world could you just don't get hit in that situation? Right? It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Like, that's not how it works. So I'm like, well, I gotta come up with a different strategy. So my strategy, like, right, we're gonna use strategy to overcome this. We're gonna use, that wasn't a play, that wasn't an action improvement I needed. We needed a different strategy. It was an RPG improvement we needed. So what did I do? I got out of Havels so that I could get back to medium armor. Well, I went to I'll tell you what, I went to my default strategy. My strategy's been carrying me the whole game. I said, we're going to unga bunga this. That's what we're going to do. We got to hit him hard. We got to hit him fast. And we got to kill him before those ads get us. Because that's our only shot. That's our only shot. I can't keep the ads down, right? I need to be a little bit lighter so I can outrun the ads and maneuver them and dodge them. And then I just need to kill him quickly, because that's our strategy. We're a strength build. We're an Unga Bunga build. This was the strategy that won. However, it still took us like 4 more attempts. I think we got him on the 5th attempt, which isn't too bad. But I only had 2 attempts that were real attempts. That one you just saw, and the final one. Because all the ones in between were like, oh, you get cheesed here. Oh, you get cheesed here. Oh, you get cheesed here. Like, I found out if you go anywhere near the back, you get the big skeletons. And there's nothing you can do about the big skeletons. I could not outrun them, right? I was only medium. Maybe if I was a lighter thing, I could outrun them. I could not outrun them. They had a huge reach. If they were activated, I was toast. I had one where the little skeleton just body blocked me in a corner because I rolled around one and they trapped me in between the stalactites, and I just got cheesed. And there's like a long run back with a lot of bullshit on the way. And so I was furious. I was so mad because I couldn't even try the strategy, right? I'm like, you give me this bullshit boss because this game is bullshit. And the only thing I can do is brute force test different strategies to see which one works. And you gotta waste my time and take this huge amount of time where I might get cheesed on the way. Like, I had to switch gear in and out because like the gear it took me to get there was different than the gear for the fight. Well, I eventually, you do the couple runs of that and you're like, screw it, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna find a way to get there without changing my gear. You do get to optimize the run. That is part of the game. So I did get really good at like running from that bonfire to where he was. I did get good at that, and that is kind of part of the fun. It's the Mario effect, you just restart the level, you keep getting better at the first parts. But it was annoying, and it did take a while, even when I got decently good at it and realized which enemies I could skip and stuff. I always got shot in the back by the damn pinwheels. But finally, I got to him, and we got to like execute the strategy. I don't know if I'm trying to save some time here, but I don't know if I can find the clip for you. I think it'll take me too long to find you the winning run. But here we go. Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out the way to do these videos quicker, and I haven't quite understood yet. So one of them is do a little less prep. But here you go. Here's the winning run. Which means I don't look up the clips beforehand. So finally, we get in there with our lighter gear. I've got the blood shield on to protect me from the toxin and the bleeding, right? I've got the gargoyle helmet on to also help with the toxin, the bleeding. I've got my I forgot I got wrecked by that. And then the rest is just the heaviest armor I can kind of get while still being in medium class. And I went to old reliable Smo's hammer. Right? I fucking love that thing. It has Unga Bunga'd me through this entire game. And look at that health. Oh, my camera's blocking it. Okay, now you can see it. Look at that health chunk, dude. Look at it, chunk. Look at him go. All I've got to do is hit him like 6 times. Well, maybe 9 times. But somewhere between 5 and 10 times. I didn't count. Right? And so I don't go to the back. Because if I go to the back, I activate the big guys. I ran off to the side to kind of juke the skeletons first, so that I'd have a little time to wail on him before I had to deal with them. Then I found out he has this bullshit pushback move, which sucks because, right, you're trying to keep away from the minions, and now he's going to push you into them and stuff. But I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. It's Unga Bunga. I just have to hit him until he's dead. I don't care about anything else. Nothing else matters. I hit really hard. I got to get in there and hit him fast. And when we finally got the chance, this was our first attempt where I actually got to try the strategy. I had the strategy on. I formed the strategy from the very first run, and we had 3 other runs. We just got bullshitted. Like, where I learned you can't activate the big skeletons. Where I learned if I run straight at him, the small skeletons are going to push me into the stalactites and cheese me. Like, that's too risky. And I just kept getting cheese and stuff. So I finally got a chance to try the strategy, and it was beautiful. It worked perfectly. Was that skill? Did I play that well? Was that any sort of get good mechanics? No, because this game isn't tough, but fair. It's not fair, and it's not that hard once you figure out whatever you're supposed to do to counteract the unfairness. Right. So it was a complete, that's the RPG parts. There are parts where you need to just be mechanically functional, where you have to do that, and those are the get good parts. But stuff like this, nothing to do with get good. And this is the great majority of the game. It's RPG stuff. It's what do I need to do? That there's no way for me to do that fight. Now maybe if you're ranged or a mage or something, there's different strats. But for me, there's nothing I could do. I could not deal with the ads. I had to just run in there and hit him as hard as I could, as fast as I could. Basically go in there and mash buttons. Right. And then like when I get in a situation where it's like I need to dodge, okay, I need to heal, okay, but really get in there and mash as fast and hard as I can. Like I burned all my stamina. Like I didn't even care about my stamina because it wasn't relevant. What was relevant is that I could get another hit in. Right? Because it was about the strategy. The game is full of bullshit, and it's what can you do to overcome the bullshit. And today we had two very mega bullshit things to deal with, and we had to come up with a strategy. And once we had it neutralized the bullshit, so it's just bull, maybe just shit, and then we could take it on. Then we could do it. It wasn't even hard once we got there. So that's what we did today. Felt really good to take him out. We got the Leroy armor even because we had defeated Leroy earlier. Felt good to use Smo's hammer, my baby. That saved my ass so many times. I'm probably gonna switch it out for the axe or something. But it's been so good. We got the cool, was it Scorn or something from Leroy, which seems cool. It's making me think maybe I should dump 20 levels in Faith and become a paladin, even though I don't like paladins. But I don't know. I think we're gonna like try the pyromancer first because you just have to level the pyro glove. But yeah, we got it. It felt good. I hate this area. It might be my most hated area because it is the most bullshitty area that we've encountered so far. I was trying to think what my top worst area was, and I couldn't remember if it was like Sin's Fortress. There was a place before Sin's Fortress that I hated that was the worst. But there was Sin's Fortress. There was the rafters in Anor Londo with the painting knights, and these catacombs have been pretty bad. The catacombs and the darkness here has been, I mean, the Duke's archives weren't great. But I mean, literally pure darkness making you play this game where you can't see, it's absurd. It's absurd. It's impossible. Unless you counteract it by putting on full tank gear. Right? Neutralize the bullshit, the video game. That's what it is. Anyways, that's my story for today. That's what we did. That's that's what I learned about Dark Souls in my 30-second one. How to overcome darkness, how to overcome Nito. Just neutralize the bullshit, man. It's what you do. It felt good to be done with it. We're officially done with the catacombs and the Tomb of the Giants. I think we can just leave now. I think that's actually you have to warp out. So it feels good. We have conquered the area. Having a good day. Well, I had a bad day, but we came out on top. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Well, you know, and doing good, being a good person, all that jazz. But it was a video game, so we came out on top. We won. All right, that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you around.